Hello everyone, this is comrade-Sirius and welcome to special episode, and this episode is special because it has a number 100 and we are nearing the old city and there's a big ugly brown blob. And if you look at this, if you look at underground, there's nothing here. And the reason for this blob I will show you right at the very edge of Prague, down there at Chodov. Why? Because this blob is the only place, and you know what? Let's use it again. This is the only place where it was straight enough so I can examine airplane factories. What do I mean? It's very simple. If you look at manufacturing and airplane factory, if you will build the big one from current times, from the vanilla game, it has the power connection, which I absolutely adore. That's, at the side that's, facing us. But as you can see, there are no parking spots. And parking spots into an airplane factory are those spots where you can actually just go to airplanes and, pick a simple parking spot. And you need to connect it. But it's no option anywhere else than where these green dots are. And in the airplane factory, it's just this one side that's opposite of the one, and anything you connect there will get connected. When it's highlighted, it's a parking spot that belongs to the factory, and that's a spot where the factory can put planes. The bigger spot you get it, the bigger plane it can manufacture, but it also checks, if I'm not mistaken, it also checks how big your connected runway is. So you need quite a big airstrip to be able to even manufacture some planes, because each plane needs its own takeoff distance. The biggest one is about 1 kilometer. It's the Antonov Maria. Normal standard planes are about 860 meters, if I remember. Smaller ones go even lower. But yeah, this is the area. You can also connect a free spot to it, and this is important. Same way you need to connect cargo terminals. Cargo terminals also you can enhance like this, and then it's simply one building. And it is especially important for repairs of planes, because planes do not do detours. If you have trams on a line, trains, if they will see in their vicinity a depot with adjacent connected service, which is something we absolutely do have, like this one, for example, you can see, if you turn on it, you can see that there are two brown buildings connected to it, and the one is end station for buses, and the other one is railroad depot. So when trains will see a depot like this, not this one, because whatever is parked will get serviced because it's in the range, but it will not go there on its own. That's the important part. It will not go there on its own. To this, when it's this orange, which means it's in the direct catchment area. The catchment area is basically the brown area around it. This depot is not highlighted right now, but for example, this one is. This one will not be because it is already assigned to this service. So that's about it. End stations do work the same. Distribution offices, fire stations, anything that can station vehicles. That's the logic. And the important part is that if you pick a big service, you do not need to connect it to the terminal, but you can connect it to any building that has become the part of the terminal. So if you see, the moment the brown area crosses the edge, it is considered that this building is in the catchment area because it has parking spots in that area. And that will be important because we are going to obviously manufacture and build planes. And that's one of those reasons for the blob. And the biggest one now is that you know, it was not too apparent where those parking spots are in the early start Plane Factory version. And yeah, you might have gotten the idea that it is way down, way back there. Obviously, you can connect it like this, but you would need to level the terrain first. So you can have, for example, one here and one here, or you can have those as a row. So that's what has been happening here. That's what I've been experimenting with, because I was needed to. By the way, last thing that I will show you, the same way works scrapping facility. If you look at, a scrapyard, for example, the small scrapyard, you can place it and you can pick a stand for plane, and you will see that there are no green dots. Because the reason is the small scrapyard cannot scrap planes. However, when you will pick the big scrapyard, and I'm curious, this is a big scrapyard from early start, the early start one with the steam locomotive, but I think that it should have the option as well, so let us check. And yes, you can be pretty sure it has. Do you see those green rows? The green dots? Yeah, exactly. This way, anywhere it touches, it is valid. And obviously the same goes for the modern one. The modern big scrapyard, again, it's the same. It just has higher storage space for vehicles. But planes will always stand here unless directly taken in. So that's where we are. And obviously, yes, you can just build it like this or like this. All planes on this will be, will be able to be taken in by the scrapyard. So this is how you can scrap planes. Again, they need to have access to a runway so they can land and actually get to that parking spot. If it's a helicopter, helicopters can reach these spots. So there's no need to have a special heliport attached. Helicopters can land at plane spots. With this knowledge, let's head to Chodov, because there's absolutely massive thing happening. This is a city of Chodov for now. These are those 4 hotels. And this is the insane area we have just built in Czech episode with a lot of cuts, and there are going to be cuts in this episode as well, because we are nowhere near finished, because we need to actually be able to build this and operate, which is not a trivial task. So this is a city. This is a main runway. It's currently exactly 100 meters long, 1000 meters long, like 1002, something like that. I want it longer. So this is an extension, but my excavators weren't able to go there, so I just destroyed trees, put some dirt roads, and made it happen. Then we have the second runway, which is much shorter. You can see it's like 560 meters. I would love to hit actually like 890. So let's mark it together. So let's do it like this, and actually, mud road and go there, and this one we can destroy. By the way, those hotkeys, you might have known, but it has been 100 episodes, so these are here, hotkeys. Number 1, you can have multiple sets of those. I'm using only one of those. And, this is the number 1 above Q key, this is the number 2 above weak W key, and you know the rest. So, yeah, dirt road, gravel road, asphalt road, construction, assignment tool, mud paths, gravel paths, asphalt paths, remove of a footpath, 9, connection tool, node connection, node removal, and 0 is removal of roads. If you hold left shift, you can batch destroy it. I'm obviously not wanting to do it right now, but it's obviously an option. So that's where we are. What you can see is there are multiple parking spots, triple or 1. Obviously, plane need access to all of those, but I'm not willing to connect them right now, because then it's a lot of parts to be done in a sequence, so I definitely would not want this. Though to be fair, this one should be probably shorter, so I can then connect it to this bit. Because that's where we will want to connect, and the same is probably valid for this side, I believe. Yeah. So that's where we will go. We have one attachment side. This is number 9. So yeah, you can start, but then we'll wait. Or you know what? Let's remove it because they would then, you know. Okay, now I will assign it to them. So that's what they will do. And this is passenger terminal from early start, because funny enough, if you take a look at personal station, small, the big personal we would be able to place, but it's a humongous one and I do not need it. And the small one I cannot place because it's under Soviet modernism and that has not been researched yet. But the early start cargo for 300 waiting passengers, easy. So that's what we have here. And I do not need more. I do not need more because why would I? Now the interesting part is that this is a passenger terminal, and this with, you know, free and free spots. If you zoom in, it fills it, but if you zoom out, you can see number of parking spots. This is a texture I put, that's why it's different. This is a cargo terminal, and I'm not planning on exporting, you know, vehicle stuff or, you know, open hull stuff via planes. I would be able to do it if I would want to, but I'm not planning on. So that's why I have two big covered storages. They are connected together. If I would want to, I can use it. They have a common cargo station, and they have, you know, obviously they will have a road connection. Again, it's not finished yet. Then there are 3 stops. They will be needed, and this is for fun for workers, because this is a service maintenance. It's called service in Czech, auto service, or, you know, but it's a vehicle repair station. And I'm using the big one. That's why I had it selected, because if you take a look, its brown area covers both corners of each of the station. So that means that both of those terminals are connected to the station. So whenever a plane will land and will need to get repaired, it will unload, get repaired, load, and will leave. That's how it works. Planes do not make detours, unlike trains or trams. And ships, by the way, behave the same. So you need to have at least some small port. In the future, I will probably therefore remove this vehicle repair station completely, because it will not be needed. We will have this big one. These 3 stops are here for taxi lines. You will see it in the future, but basically it's a vehicle set to wait. Well, not wait, but load people, do nothing in the same stop, and then all unload stops. If it has no one to load, it skips all future unload stops. Once it tries to load in the first one. If it loads or unloads, if it loads anyone or not, doesn't matter. It skips to another stop. If it's the same one, it stays in the stop and evaluates further. It evaluates further always, but if it's another stop, then it starts moving and then evaluates, so it saves time. But if it skips to another one where it simply has do nothing, it will take a look and like, okay, I don't have anyone. What is the next stop? Unload only. Okay, skip it. What is the next one? Unload, unload, unload. And when it has only unload stops in the future, in the rest of the line, it then skips back to the first one. So it means it will not leave the stop. It will still be standing there. And it will simply be waiting. And the loop will start again. It will try to load anyone. And till there will be no one, it will be standing here eternally. That's why it's a taxi stop. And that's why these are, obviously, you know, on the side. I may even do them one way. I'm not sure if I really need it. And I'm not sure I need 3. I need at least 2 because one of them are going to be buses towards, you know, our central stop near hotels, or maybe this one. I don't know. You'll see. Probably this one would feel better. And the other one is going to be down here to the Novihrad. That's why we are building. By the way, they can probably start on those prefabs. The prefab road for I do not have them on option. Yeah, these are people, so you actually can just build and finish this road, and you can let me know. Before we dip into night, because you can see night is coming. This is basically the main area. So one terminal, second terminal, and repair stop, and how people will get here. And then we have 2 areas. One of them is scrapyard. You can see it by the icon. It has a scrapyard for 75-meter big plane. I'm not planning on operating those, but that's basically the Anton of Maria. If there would be some in a very bad shape, I can buy it and scrap it down here, just for the fun of it. Definitely not need. There is simply, you know, 50 meters, one big strip, because why the hell not? It shows number 3 because number 1 and 2 are here just for parking, because I might need them, and they are in range of the vehicle service, so if I would need, I can send anyone there. Then there are some, you know, free parking spots again, so I might need it. I will obviously need to connect these, but you cannot build air bridges for airways, or, you know, tunnels. So that's why this and this bit I need to destroy the road and then connect it, plan and make a tunnel. I will make a tunnel here. I will make a road tunnel here and a rail tunnel, because I want to this scrapyard to be able to access it with trains. If I will ever use it, I don't know. I simply want the option. So after a switch, it will go down, and, you know, will go through a tunnel. Hopefully, I will be able to exit it at around here. Which reminds me, probably we do not need to turn. We do not need to turn this quickly, and instead I want very small bit, so I can put a signal there. Yeah, that's what we have. And then I can simply start going, not up, but down, so I can just dig under it. Yeah, it would probably be better. Anyway, so, yeah, that's the plan, and hopefully those tracks will be able to just, you know, go through and connect to this part. Here is the airplane manufacturing spot. So that's where we are. Multiple spots, again, 2 connections to both of the airports. Why? Because why not? And an extra 75 meter if I would like to ever build big ones. And I need at least 1 square that's not connected to anything for the 75 meter big plane, so I can actually manipulate with them. So that's why it is here. And yeah, all of these will be connected in the future. That's all. So far, this one has no other connection, but I'm planning on having an airplane connection right in here, which would probably be better to connect right away. Yeah, sure, we can have it like this, and from there we would be able to start. What I will need, I have no idea, but I would like to be able to bring in fuel via train. I will bring components via train into here, and I will use these, you know, as a pickup spot for city services, you know, because that's why we have this thing here and the cargo station. And also there will be a storage for the vehicle manufacturing, not manufacturing, but vehicle repair station. So there will be another one, but it would be fine to have a spot for delivery of cargo materials or export of them for the option of it. And also we need things like heating. That means coal. If you're not going to resort to mods, you need coal. And we need some materials. And all of these things cost a fuck ton of stuff. And this is what we are going to do today to plan connecting of this stuff. Probably towards this area. I'm not sure where our guys are, because I sent them. Yeah, they are here. Well, at least the excavator. Bulldozer will probably be... Yeah, it will take a while. Well, anyway, let's start together, and it will be simple. I made a stone mine down here because that's the closest stone we have. Well, we have technically one on the other side as well, but this one was 50% good, and it was on, you know, on the better side of the road that we placed last time and have it already built. And then there are some conveyors. Yeah, I did use roads. I could use footpaths, but then we need a gravel industry like this. You know, the gravel processing plant, storage, and, you know, towards it to have connected asphalt and concrete plant. So those things will come all the way here. I'm going to place it, and then we'll move on. Well, here we are. This is gravel plant. It has its road connection, so yeah, this all will have probably some sort of like a service road. I don't know, but it will definitely have some road running next to it. I will just need to make it, you know, a little nicer looking. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure that's the correct word, but hey, you all probably know well much better than I what I actually meant by that. So that's it. Yeah, this will be a connection. We want to make it like a prefab road, probably. So that's what we'll do. And there will probably be another one. I feel like coming from this is not a bad idea, actually. So yeah, that's what they will do. I will make it as a gravel road because that one looks much better on paper than the other types. So that's what we have. To summarize, this is a gravel plant, this is a conveyor, and this is a storage. You technically do not need the conveyor, but conveyor moves stuff. If it wouldn't be there, the gravel plant would make gravel inside of it, and then only after it would fill, it would start filling connected storages. Which is not great, because A, you lose all the gravel that you manufacture at first, and B, no matter what the output is, you lose it. Because you fill it and then you cannot use it. It's not a problem with mines, for example. If you take a look at something like a coal mine, it has export storage of 20 tons of raw coal, and that thing can produce hundreds of tons per day. So that's not a loss that would be significant. So you once fill it and then you do not care. However, with the big gravel plant, the output export storage is 380 tons. So not only that's like almost a full week of work of production, but it's a substantial storage that you can use repeatedly. Because if you will fill this storage, it will start filling this one because the tower will have nowhere to transport it. But as soon as you start using it, you can use this one as well. So you basically add those storages together. And I have placed the big one, the old storage, for 1900 tons, 1950. So with this simple add-on, we go over 2,300 if I'm counting correctly. I count correctly, but I do not. Yeah, 380 tons plus 1950. So you can do the math probably yourself. And then there's a trick I want to show you. I will obviously need to recycle, gravel from this storage, because, yeah, which reminds me, we probably need some type of containers, which I absolutely forgot, but not anymore. So yeah, this one will need some connection, and it will produce, rubble. rubble from the mine, but you can, recycle that rubble into a gravel, which needs a waste recycling plant. I'm using the one from early start because we will not need some, big one, hopefully. Though to be fair, there is a rumor to have like iron mines, and by the way, there is going to be a coal mine. More about that a little bit later. But for now, you want to have a priority. You want to have a priority of consuming the recycled gravel first. It's not that crucial if you are running only gravel, because basically if this thing would choke on construction waste, it would then simply, you would run out of gravel here, and then the recycled gravel would get used. So far so good. The problem is, if you are going to do the same with coal mine, you do not want your coal mines or coal processing to stop producing stuff, because you might have guessed it, you then would have no coal. Which is not ideal. That's definitely something you do not want to face and you do not want to need to solve. So that's what we have here. That's what we will have here. So let's do it, because the mechanic I just spoke with gravel, we are going to use to our advantage, because we are going to use this conveyor tower to fill internal storages of those concrete and asphalt plant with recycled gravel from the plant, but only when those will be empty, these will have their conveyors and will drag the gravel from the storage. So this is because you cannot have priorities on 3-in-1 conveyors, but you can do it like this. So that's it. Again, we'll need a lot of connections. Like this is an asphalt plant, so it obviously needs a bitumen connection, which I may show you like this. It needs a bitumen connection, but that would simply be thrown in somewhere near. More about that in a little bit. Concrete plant needs water, which will be somewhere here, and cement. I decided to plan a silo with possible rail access because you probably know where I'm heading. And yeah, this thing doesn't need anything else. All of these need a stop in vicinity. These guys will definitely be able to, walk through. Well, definitely. And don't be so sure, Holmes. Okay. This would work. But obviously, this one would work too. And where do we want to access our... It would be better to have it, under all those conveyors, but I'm not sure we can fit. We can definitely fit here. And can we... It was more... It was easier than it looked. Fine. Fine, I guess. Just a curious question. Would we be able to do it like this? So, fire crews would have easier time to respond? Or that's out, or that's like out of question. It feels like the out of question part was probably correct, but I want to try anyway. We can still try the F1 tricks to basically just add a node there. Like a glove. Yeah. I probably played this game too much, honestly, at this point. But, well, it's fine, right? I hope it's fine. Well, this is it. Obviously, these things will need some rubble containers as well. So, well, we might as well add them while we're at it. Because, again, then I'll forget, and that's something we do not want to forget. But we will need waiting lines for those vehicles. Because if we are going to send a lot of trucks for asphalt, we better have, space for them to wait. This feels like a long ish enough stretch, but gravel is the one that, you know, used the most. So we probably may keep it like this. And here are going to be train tracks, so just maybe wait a bit. This thing will obviously get connected into here. Is there anything else? Yeah, this thing. I need this connection because, yeah, this thing is then possible, which is fine. Anything else here? Nothing here. We probably may just, you know, go around if need be, but first construct this bit. I know that it's not very seen together, but it's very easy. It will be easy. So this is what we have. We have containers here. We do not have containers like at the actual gravel plant, but that should be pretty easy to solve. For example, like, you know, around here. Yeah, I want to give it a little bit more space. Yeah, that's what we'll have. I will connect it, and obviously I will connect it to this part as well. They are in range, so everything should be okay. We'll need technical services, yeah, obviously. We would need them anyway, so there's no problem at all. Now the second part. Second but not the last part. This is a stop I'm going to use also for heating. And the heating, I mean, we have the city. It will probably grow a little bit on this side as well. I will need to place a heat exchanger in a way that it covers both the control tower and the terminal. Every airport needs only one control tower, and it needs to be like, I don't know, up to 2 kilometers away, something like that. It's pretty benevolent, so that's cool. Anyway, let's take a look at, you know, heat distribution. I really hate these vanilla because they look absolutely stupid. They are like twice the size than they should be, so I'm going to use these from early start. You can see how, you know, small they are, and that's absolutely the correct size. So that's where we are. Anywhere I will place it, these guys are in range, so I think we're almost perfect. Do I actually want... Yeah, I might actually just do it like this. Or, you know what? Turn it sideways so it feels better. Yep. This one. Are 2 going to be enough? I have no idea. We can check at Srichkov because this is starting to get looking similar. Srichkov is down here. So let me check about those heat exchangers. 144 is the whole city. So basically divided by 2 is this number because we have 2 heat exchangers. So this is fine. 1 heating plant should be enough. Should doesn't mean will be. And yet we are having plans for, you know, future expansion as well, and for radio station. So that's going to be well, really future, not now. We have a lot of work to do here as well. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, in the vicinity of this stop and in a distance from the city where it will not bother our people. So for heating plant, for a big one, it's actually something like, I don't know, 600 meters maybe. The big heating plant, yeah, 26 ton, it's probably close to 700 meters. So the closest buildings, living buildings, are these. So 750, 800, this is the perfect spot. Because they will be, you know, in the reach of everything. So here I will plan maybe 1, but probably 2 heating plants, just so we can add it in the future. So let me do it. Well, heating plants has been done, and a little bit more. It's very simple, and we have two big heating plants, and they are connected to one big 2000 ton storage. Originally I had it like here, that's why it's flat, but then I realized I want to do more. And the same principle that's applied here will be applied down there. Because each of those heating plants have 80 tons of coal in their storage, and on full production, this thing consumes 8.4 tons a day. Which is little, that's low, and the inner storage lasts almost 10 days. Based on that we do not need 100% productivity all the time, it's basically 10 days. Even if it would be like 9, it's still more than a week, so it's crucial, especially, you know, when supply would be having problems and so on. So, this is what we have. And I did it this way because I wanted more, and I wanted this thing. Yes, another brick works because we will use a fuck ton of bricks. Not only here, but also on some bridges and stuff like that. This thing consumes 600 tons of bricks alone. Yeah, the landing pad uses only, you know, concrete, gravel, and asphalt. Like, fuck, that would be a lot of. This thing, okay, that's also some old type of you know, loading bay again. But yeah, scrapyard will need some bricks. Repair station, storages like, you know, 50 tons. Lots of this will be needing, you know, bricks. Obviously, things like these will be constructed by then, probably. But any future stuff that we are going to build, and to be fair, that might include things like, you know, Wrzowice and some cities in between, because there's a whole electronic industry that we might try to do before the map collapses under the weight of our own population. Because, don't get me wrong, I'm not sure how far this computer can take it. I know that 80,000 is okay-ish where we can go, but I do not want to drag this series indefinitely. So if there is something you would like to see, let me know. But this is just for fun. So let's be it. And by the way, when we'll have a lot of, you know, stuff, I can just switch off some of those tourists and just, you know, start manufacturing planes en masse, because why not? So there's a brickworks, and then there's a storage for brickworks, you know, to sell its products. And yeah, they will need this connection. Yeah, I just now realized that I will need a connection for this thing as well, obviously, because it has it's a train. I was thinking about a prefab factory as well, but nope, that's not what we are going to build here. We are going to bring those in. Which, again, brings us to another question of where are we going to want those storages? Or, to be fair, the cargo station. What we are going to need? We will have our own bricks. Till that time we are going to buy them at our customs. We are going to get our own wood, which will happen down here. You will see it in a very little moment. Oh, up here. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there very soon. So that's wood, that's boards. We'll need steel, and we have a steel mill, so that's not a problem. And we will need prefabs, that's also in Vysočany. Again, for the time being, we can absolutely import that stuff from Vysočany, from customs. But I would like to be able to, you know, live to a day where these things can actually work. And to be fair, I'm just now thinking about adding our own small rail construction office, so we can start building from you know, this area as well, our own rails, because there are going to be some rails here, and this thing can also use some help. Though to be fair, they are getting a little bit closer. Yeah, you can see this is the bit they are building, so might not be needed, because from the other side they are already at Vysočany. So okay, no rail construction office. Stop complicating things even more. Serious. This is not a good place. Not a good time or place. Okay, but we'll need a cargo hub for the city. These are supply stuff, you know, and all of these are supplies, but we'll need more. Basically, we will need. It would be fine to have our own food and all that stuff. And the logical place would be this one, because trains then can come here. If I will make a line has no problem of going here and then rotate backwards. Rail distribution office will never go here to unload, then come here to load and back, or, you know, the other way around. Because rail distribution office go start, target, so it's here. Start, target, home. It just always triangles, it never changes. Road? Yes. Rail? Nope. So this is where we can have it, or to be fair, we can just dismantle some of these fields and have it like here. Is it a good idea? I feel like there is, because if we place these huge burning stuff, we will absolutely not allow people to live here, so we will dismantle it. And just so you know, we have this connection. This is also another trick I have seen. You can connect both heating plants to those. We made it on Strichkov, so I'm just repeating myself. But you can have up to 2 pipes from those, how it's called? These stations. You know the English. Pumping station, heat pumping station, something like that. Fuck it. You know what I talk about. And so fields are going out. They were like a decoration anyway here, so that's why. And to be fair, we are going to have something like a road here anyway. We have one rail, second rail. We can absolutely make another rail down here, but we need to be aware of one stuff, and that is this cableway station. We'll have probably 2 cableway stations, 2 cableway lines. One, this is the unload station for coal, because our primary source should not be a trade. It will be just when it will be needed. But our primary source will be a cableway that will go all the way across the forest down here to Hostjuar. It will come with coal. Capacity of cableway is somewhere around 40 tons, maybe a little less, 40 tons a day. So if these things will consume 8, and only in winter, that's like 16 together, 17 if you round up. So 17 tons, and the small brickworks can consume 10 tons a day. So we should be absolutely okay in terms of supply. We should not ever run out. But it would be fine to, you know, be able to. It would be fine to just, you know, have it covered. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm on about. And yeah, I just remembered that we will need, you know, containers as well. This thing probably needs containers as well, right? Yeah, fuck. Yeah, don't be rude. Like this? Might be. Yeah, it will work. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Maybe stay away from those buildings. Like, you know, from those buildings where you will have road connections. So what I will have is, I can obviously lift those pylons, and it will be a heavy cableway. So I can absolutely lift this one high up, and then, you know, move on. So if I will do this, and this is, you know, not a it looks temporary, but it absolutely might not be. We would be able to just, please pick another elevation. We absolutely should be able to just, you know, build tracks through here. And we are. That's 1, F4, that's 2. And here will be a cargo station. Or to be fair, here will be a cargo station and some distribution offices next to it. So I will plan it, and I also will plan two more things. One of them will be woodcutting post. I was thinking about having it in the city, in the walkable distance, because this future won't be here, and we have the underground passage, you can see. And if we take a look at how far these guys have it, we will not know because they are not connected at all. Which might be... We might absolutely be able to fix it. So let's give it to them. By the way, yeah, people are now transported by Travis, so that's not a problem. So if I would make it only like, you know, an asphalt footpath, and I will select it like this, so I'm not removing all of that. So now if we take a look, you can see how many houses they have in range. So if I will have on the same spot but on the other side, if I would have woodcutters, it wouldn't be a problem. And the same thing will go for water treatment plant, which will be here. Do we need a small one or a big one? It's a small city. Well, small, you know what I mean, but it looks small and it will not grow, and there will be no other cities in range. I hope that small one is enough. If not, it will show itself over time. But this is what we'll have. Yeah, they will need to walk on a road for a little while, but that shouldn't be a problem. And bonus point is that they have already bins in range, which is fine. So this is what they will do, and I will place some pumps in the middle. And I wanted to do a woodcutter, like I can do it probably here. No, I won't do it here, because you know why? We are going to transport workers towards here. And here is a fucking forest, so I can absolutely do it, because I'm not going to transport, you know, to ferry bricks from here. Like, anyway? Or will I? I don't know. I don't know why there are so many options in this game. Okay, you know what? This is the stop. I will just put it probably next to it. Well, and here we are. Close to finish. Not completely, but very close to the finish. It is a long episode. It's an hour and a half, but it's heavily cut and I have no idea how long it is. So, let's make it short. These are two water pumps, water wells, mechanized water wells. I don't know the English term proper, but you know what it is. It doesn't need people. So, because we are in the modern times, so that's fair. You know? Obviously, you need a big pump that will go through here. And I will also branch off from here with a medium pipe. A small one is probably enough. But I will, you know, take it down here. There will be two things powering from that, but it will be a small pipe, nevertheless. Two pumps, two things. One of those will be this concrete plant, because that one is needed. The second one will be a coaling station. It will not be here. It will be somewhere down the line. I don't know where. I honestly have no idea where it will be. Because at first I need to bring all of these rails together. We got one of these. This is a station, by the way, and I basically made three things here. One of them is meat storage, general covered storage, open storage I wanted to make. I haven't made that one because I made a vehicle storage. So, yep. Probably one big open storage is enough for prefabs and steel. We shouldn't need more. To be fair, if we would, I'd rather have space for it. So that's where we are. This one is definitely not needed, but this will be stored and prefab. This is a road connection. As I told, this thing will probably be lost to time, but these fields can for now stay there. Stay where they are. And, well, not for long, but you know what will happen. Like, you have seen me do demolitions of stuff, and first we'll need to do demolitions of this so we can actually do that stuff. But I need to bring these together. It's 5 rails, wood, bricks, 6. Main 2, coal unloading, bricks, cement unloading, wood, wood and board. And all of those will probably meet on this very level, because we need something. We need some spot to meet. And to be fair, these guys up here, this station is going to get served via trains from rail distribution office. And those can refuel, because those will definitely come from our advanced area, from Leskachov, so those will be able to refuel down here or at home. So I do not give a damn right now. Or, yeah, the other one that will come here is with aluminum. And that one will come from down below. And as you know, they will have refueling stations as well. I will definitely use a distribution office just to not need to solve, because yes, trains look only like 2 kilometers as well as road vehicles. Yeah, it's from the next node, but it doesn't help us in this situation. So that's where we are. I'm also not planning on using electric trains right now. If I will need to, I can electrify, but well, not now. So this is the area where all those rails will meet over time, and then I will need to bring them lower. I will also need to prolong those 2 runways, and that's a thing I will do between episodes. So for both my Czech viewers and you, my English viewers, you will see it done. The one thing, the last one, is that we are at 115 meters up here, and down here we are at 70. The air distance is about 1 kilometer, but we can go down. If we would follow 25 promille, it means very simple thing, and that is on 1 kilometer we can go down only 25 meters. This is more than a double. So we'll need to make a, I wouldn't say detour, but sort of one. And I originally planned to, you know, get on these guys, like down here, which might actually happen. Now that I'm looking at it, it might actually happen, because we would be able to just, you know, maybe cut across, make a bridge, join with these rails, and go like big around and follow here. Yep, something like that. But I will need to move some vehicles for that, and also I will definitely need those guys that should be here already. Well, are not. You know why? Because we are already all the time in the boss. So I will definitely follow 20 to 25 promille gradient, so we are not going straight down. How it will be looking, I have no idea. You'll see in the future. So that's all for me. I will go and I will play with demolitions and all of this stuff. I will connect all of these. Do we need something? We do. And the last thing I will show you is a big power station, because that one from here definitely needs a connection. And the big power station will be in this area, because it will be absolutely needed. And we probably should have another, you know, fire station around this area anyway, so it protects all of our infrastructure. We might as well do it. So let's do a fire station, a small one first, but definitely make one. Well, probably here. Can we make it so they've already access to some waste containers? Probably not. Are you really going to scrap it for yeah, sort of. Nope. Yeah, let's place it here. Yes, it will be a little too much to make, you know, these big containers to them. But well, what can I do? I do not want to have small trucks driving around here. Though to be fair, they are small containers down there. So anyway, so that's what these will have, and that's where these will be connected. Make it so they are, so those roads are seen. So that's a fire station, and now just do the last one, and that's power. So we can actually start making things up. Yeah, we do not have sewage, but sewage is very simple. I will simply drag all the sewage from all around here, make it go down, which is generally towards the highway, and here is the switch we can, and we all need to, not can, but we need to get in. So a little miracle. Let's do. That works. Well, magic cut. Here we are. Power is done. Again, we got an intermediate switch because priority switches are not great connected when connected with just these guys right away. So that's why we had the intermediate phase. Hopefully it will be okay. Hopefully, I have no idea, but we'll see. That should be fine. These guys are hopefully fine. It feels like. Then it's you know, the priority switch, and from the priority one we have these big normal switches, and there are 3 transformers. This one is just what we would need, so it can drive from here. We have also one connection free as well, so that's probably a way to get, you know, maybe towards us you are somewhere, don't know, or you know, to have another part down here, or we can make this one bigger. Whatever we need, we can actually start from here and start delivering, you know, power everywhere we want to. Which reminds me, we probably should have a transformer in the other direction, so we can probably do it like this. Yep, it feels like this will be an industrial transformer. So let's do those 5 megawatts as well, and yes, this will be the connection. There we are. Simple, effective. That's how it will come to life. It has 2 gates as usual. It will get built from this side. It's almost, you know, enough. It doesn't matter from which side they will do it. That's one. Substations and other stuff I will place in the city in between episodes. The same will go with sewage. So that's where we are. I hope you liked it, because this was a little harder episode to make, but I think it's worth it. And well, hope to see you somewhere down this year, 1960, when things will start coming together. And if you have a question why I have this and down here, it is for no apparent reason. The only reason why this is here is realism. Because yes, I know that trains can turn around in the station. I know that they can do it without, you know, going around. But this is the infrastructure that you would need for a locomotive to be able to go around and for the train to turn on spot. There are some people that would want it, so trains do not do it, do not do the insta turn in stations. But all they would need for it to do in reality is this. In the game it's simplified and it's not simulated. If you want a more realism, just build these. That's all. Have a nice day and see you in future episodes. Bye bye.